Hello everybody, Jason up, New Year's Revolution Cave. Happy Sunday to all of you. It's been a good day so far, a good Sunday indeed. Bowling with the boy. Now home for some YouTube friends and family. I'm making a cheesy hash brown soup today for dinner in the crock pot. Halloween decorations are up in the front yard, the blow-ups, if you will, the inflatables. And I'm gonna have a few cocktails and watch some football. It is a good Sunday. That's the way I like to spend a Sunday. The kids are on Fortnite. Their mother is cleaning. All is well in the world. All right, so let's continue on with LJN's Revisited, where we take a close look at my absolute favorite action figure line of all time. We are moving through. We are only down to 2 more shelves. 2 shelves left, folks. And then we'll probably do the XOX ones, and then we're going to do the LJN Slammy Awards. So that'll be fun. And then we'll probably we're going to do every wrestling figure revisited. Galoob, Remco, Thumbs, Bendies. And then we're going to do every single item I have revisited. We'll just go through every single item I have and take a closer look at it. Just keep the channel going as long as possible. Because, you know, I come back, we do the retirement, I come back. How many times can I do that, folks? You know, I don't know if this is the swan song of the channel. You know, if I do go away again, it might be over. But there's no thought of that. But I figured, look, let's just go through everything I have. Let's just take a look at absolutely everything, the collection, piece by piece this time. All right, but that's far away. We haven't even finished the LJNs yet. We're taking a look at 2 figures today. 2 figures. That I certainly don't know exactly how I feel about, as I have one of them drop kick the other. I never had these. I never had these as a kid. I don't remember seeing them in stores. I know they were sold on single card and as a tag team 2-pack. 88 or so, 87. Well, that's rubbed off. 87. I don't know why I didn't have these guys as a kid. I think I should have. I don't know why I didn't. I did have them as a collector a couple of times. And I'm taking a look at them, and I just don't know how I feel about them. But we've got the Killer Bees, folks. B. Brian Blair and Jumpin' Jim Brunzell. Now, why am I confused about them as far as my feelings? Well, they're very small. They're very small, and I don't know. I don't know why I don't love these figures, but I think that my interest in them is growing because of the wrestling that I'm watching currently. So what I didn't know is that the Killer Bees actually formed a tag team way earlier than I thought. Way earlier. In fact, the Killer Bees formed a tag team before Wyndham and Rotundo won back the belts from Sheik and Volkov, before Randy Savage debuted in the WWF, before Greg Valentine lost the Intercontinental title belt back to Tito Santana. Yeah. The Killer Bees debuted 3 months after WrestleMania 1. I'm watching it right now. The Killer Bees. So Jim Brunzell debuted in the WWF in June of 85. And they immediately started teaming him with B. Brian Blair, and immediately gave them the Killer Bees name. And only one match that I've seen on All-Star Wrestling, they wrestled as a tag team with Black Trunks. The very next time I saw them, they had the yellow and black trunks with black jackets, and then they got the Killer Bee sequin jackets. These guys were together in June of '85. In my head, they didn't tag team until '87, which is completely wrong. So I did not realize that. The Killer Bees formed a team before Randy Savage debuted. Okay? I was 9 years old when the Killer Bees debuted. I thought I was like 12. I'm serious. It's crazy. Anyway, here's the tag team. So Brian Blair had been in the WWF forever, on and off, here and there, never really amounting to anything. Jim Brunzell was one half of the High Flyers in the AWA, teaming with Greg Gagne and having some tag team championship success in a, I don't want to call it a minor league organization, but lower than, not as nationwide as WWF. 85 or so, 84, 85, Vince McMahon cleans house, takes everybody from everywhere, and ends up with Jim Brunzell. And they put Blair and Brunzell together for a very successful tag team run that never ended with a title run, which I think should have. I think these two wrestlers, as wrestlers, are fantastic. Jim Brunzell has a ton of talent. Brian Blair has wonderful talent. So I'm going to enjoy watching several years of the Killer Bees, especially when they get into matches with the Hart Foundation and more formidable tag teams. The Dream Team, I assume they'll take on. The figures, however, I don't know. They're just odd to me. Whether it's Brunzell's feet go in two different directions. Blair kind of has a very weird pose, and the neck is tilted. I don't know why I just didn't like the Killer Bees figures. I got a feeling that they're going to be one of my favorite tag teams as I rewatch, the childhood wrestling that I grew up with. I just think they will. I just like them. So here you go. Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, Jim Brunzell. I think two relatively decent. I think Jim Brunzell's probably a good guy in life. I know Brian Blair got into some stuff as a congressman or a senator or whatever he was. I think he fought his son or something. I don't know. He got arrested. Whatever. Brian Blair always seemed like a decent guy. Tough guy. I think Brian Blair is probably tougher than we give him credit for. And I don't know about Jim Brunzell, but yeah, there you go. The Killer Bees, B. Brian Blair, Jim Brunzell, never had him as a tag team. So one thing I would talk about with Wrestling with the Past, Brian Blair as B. Brian Blair would do the goofiest wings. He would make his wings flap when he jumped off the top rope or the second rope. Even before I think he threw a drop kick, he would quickly do the wings flapping. And that is such 80s WWF just to a T. Like, you're not really a bee. You're the Killer Bees because you have bees in both of your names. You're not really a bumblebee, even though they dressed you up like a bumblebee and put the bumblebee jackets on you. And then eventually the masks, which I never understood. I guess I'll have to rewatch that. But we don't think you have wings. So why are you doing that coming off the top rope? It's just weird. And Blair was the only one who done it so far. I haven't seen Brunzell do it. Brunzell was probably like, oh, that's stupid. I'm not going to do that. No, they'll think we're bees. Here you go. The Killer Bees, folks. I don't know. I don't love them, but I kind of like them. But I don't know. If I were to bust out the LJNs today, I would definitely have a Killer Bee versus Dream Team tag team match for sure. There they are, the Killer Bees. Let's take a closer look at them. All right, before we take a look at the Killer Bees, we have to take a look at the greatest, and my toe, that's my toe. We have to take a look at the greatest way to display your LJN figures with this custom Killer Bees stand from 4 Left 3D Creations. Now, this is not the way it usually comes. There's usually a middle piece here that the nameplate fits in, but for space sake, I don't have a lot of space on this shelf. I had to improvise and stand them next to each other like that. But regardless, it doesn't matter. They're still the greatest stands in the history of stands. The Killer Bees custom LJN stands from 4 Left 3D Creations. And here we are, jumping Jim Brunzell, B. Brian Blair, the Killer Bees. I think this is a fantastic likeness on B. Brian Blair. Tremendous. Absolutely perfect, maybe? It's a perfect face. It's B. Brian Blair. I don't know. From there, the figure kind of loses a little for me. It's a little small. It's just a little awkward in your hand. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know why I don't love these figures. Maybe just they're too small. I don't know. But a semi-decent play pose. I think Brunzell's is better. So we've got the bumblebee striped trunks and yellow boots, black knee pads. Again, great face. Decent face on Brunzell also. I don't know if that's a paint loss there, or if Brunzell actually had gap tooth in every one of his figures. I don't think he has a gap tooth in real. He might. I don't know. But there he is, Jim Brunzell. Okay face sculpt. And a slightly better play pose except for the thumbs up. But that's fine, whatever. We didn't care when we were kids. Maybe some of us cut off the thumb like idiots, I don't know. Pretty much identical outfits for the Killer Bees. I don't know. Are they underrated figures? Am I harshly judging them? It's a perfect B. Brian Blair face. You know, the backs are the backs, no big deal. No big whoop. Brian Blair, Jim Brunzell, Killer Bees, forming in June of 1985. June of 1985. Blew my mind. I had them debuting in my head in somewhere in 1987. But no, 2 years prior. All right, there you go, Killer Bees. We will go on to the next shelf. The next shelf, we got 2 more to go. We'll be looking at one of my least favorite characters in wrestling. I do not like him. I think he's obnoxious and annoying in a bad way, not in like a, ooh, bad guy way. Just like, what is it, X-Pac heat? Johnny V, we're going to look at next. And then we're going to move on to the figures that started the decline of the LJN toy line. We'll look at the next series after Johnny V. Johnny V is just, you know, not an enjoyable character. All right, that's it. Killer Bees. Good night now.